Good morning, everybody. Decided to go back to the old intro with the slide in here after I really jinxed the Hawkeyes with last week's intro and talking them all up, and then they laid that egg against Purdue last week. But anyways, I guess I digress there. Hopefully get back on track and still make that Big Ten championship game. So sorry, Iowa fans, but I'll take that loss for definitely jinxing you guys. I did that to the Cubs last couple of years ago too. We put my kids in Cub jerseys or Cub shirts, myself in Cub shirts, and they got ousted from the playoffs like immediately after we did that. So I am definitely the jinx when it comes to those things. But anyways, welcome to week 6 of the Misfit Toys Fantasy Football League recap show. Hard to believe, but we are going to be week 7, which is the halfway point in the regular season. So we'll even take a look at the projected playoff bracket today, since we're over the halfway mark here after this week. Going to the scoreboard, I tried to get Elliot to come on with me. He's at that point as a 3-year-old. He does not want to be videotaped or picture taken on me, so he refused to. But Elliot really took me down this week, 193 to 176. So I'm 0-2 in my career against Elliot in fantasy football, but hopefully that changes next time we play. That moves us both to 3-3. Justin Field of Dreams moved to 4-2 with a 165-124 win over Tyler McDonald. Last minute lineup took down Angie Lutnager 118 to 99, making them both 3-3. How about Nick and Jazzy Sports Balls? The guy just keeps rolling. He's 5-1 now. He beat Leanne and Durdouche Blitzkrieg 157 to 133. Nick only his second time ever playing this, and he's tearing up. He's starting to pull away there in the East Division. Fail Mary just took it to Nathan and Ankeny Natron 163 to 78. Nate had a bunch of guys on bye, and I'm guessing he just said, you know what, instead of filling those spots, I'm just going to take the loss this week, and might be a good strategy. Moves them both to 3-3. We had Team Thiele breaking the win streak of Team Desperito, 212 to 194. No Monday night at conferences, they were going back and forth. They both had 2 guys playing. Josh Allen just put Team Thiele time on his back though, and led him to the victory. As both of those guys go to 3-3 now. And in this matchup, how about this? We had 0.16 points separating Team Christine from Team Kirkpatrick, and Team Christine pulled out the 144.85 to 144.69 win over Team KP, moving them both to 2-4. So looking ahead to next week, or this week, I guess, make sure you get those lineups set. As there's a Thursday game, and the buys are in there now. A lot of buys. I know I got a lot of guys on buys last week, a few guys on buys this week, so make sure you're getting those filled in if you can. And the waiver wire is scarce with 14 teams. I know we've all picked it over pretty good. So trade deadline is coming up as well. So if you're going to make a trade, slide that thing in there. I'm always willing to take some offers. Let me know what you got. But going into this week, we got me, Brady Gaga, against Angie Lutnager. He takes 2 to make things go right. Both of us 3-3 right now. I'm favored 174 to 135. Durdouche Blitzkrieg is favored over Team McDonald 137 to 74. Looks like Tyler has a couple guys on buys there. Ankeny Natron trying to get back into winning ways against Justin Fields. Justin Fields of Dream is favored 160 to 148. Elliot favored big time over Christine. Christine looks like she has a bunch of guys on buy as well. Right now, Elliot's favored 172 to 70. I'd say look out for Elliot's team. It looks pretty strong right now. And he usually picks the right guys to throw in there. At least he did last week against me. Team Desperito against last minute lineup 151 to 91. Brad also guys on buy, so make sure you get those things filled in. Team KP is favored over Jazzy Sports Balls at 5-1, 151 to 115, and that would be a pretty big upset early on in the season. But we need Nick to lose and bring him back to the pack a little bit. Don't let him run away. And in the final matchup, you got the Thiele time at 3-3 versus Fail Mary at 3-3. Thiele time favored 133 to 107. Looking at the standings, we are kind of in a log jam still. In the standings so far. In the East, it's Nick on top at 5-1. Then you have me, Angie, Leanne, and Brad, all 2 games back at 3-3. And then Christine and Amy are both 3 games back at 2-4. In the West, Darren has taken the lead at 4-2. Teely, Elliot, Thomas, Lisa, and Nathan not far behind. They're all 1 game back at 3-3. And Tyler is 2 games back at 2-4. If the playoffs started today, which I know you're interested in, even though we got 7 games to play, right now Nick would be the 1 seed with the bye, and the 8-9 matchup would be Fail Mary and Derdush Blitzkrieg. The 5-12 matchup, which I don't want to be in because if you watch the NCAA tournament, 12s always beat the 5. It would be me versus Tyler. I'd be the 5 seed. Elliot's would be the 4 seed against Christine, the 13 seed. And then on the other side of the bracket, you'd have Justin Field of Dreams getting the bye. He would take on either the 7 Angie or the 10 Brad. And then the 3 would be Teely, the 14 would be KP, and the 6-11 matchup would be Team Desperito, Tommy Cotter, and Ankeny Natron. So we are to the halfway point. Things are kind of heating up. Get those lineups set. There are a lot of buys out there this week. Sorry, I'm getting my music set up here to end the show, but get those lineups set, get some trades, find those deals on the waiver wire, things like that. I am going to say, even though I'm sitting at 3-3, my team is coming together a little bit. If Chris Carson can get healthy, I'd say look out and for Brady Gaga coming up again. But until then, we're just going to keep rooting for Team Brady Gaga, right? For TB12, let's go Tom Brady. Let's go Brady Gaga, and we will see you next week.